Like all bike designs, it always starts with a simple idea.
Welcome to Mint Customs.
2 years ago, I started designing what I can only describe as a dream motorcycle. A bike that was going to take a lot of money, a lot of time, and it was going to be way in the future when I was successful.
Lacking time, money, and success, we decided we were going to build the bike anyway.
I wondered to myself, could I combine a steel trellis frame with a two-stroke engine? And if so, could I do it by only using one manufacturer? Because I wanted to completely avoid this bike turning into a Frankenstein bike. And if you haven't heard what a Frankenstein bike is,
a Frankenstein bike is made out of old and new parts from multiple manufacturers. Like seeing a Honda Hornet mixed with a Yamaha R6. Makes more sense to use a Honda Hornet and a Honda CBR 600, don't you think?
sometimes you can't avoid it being a Frankenstein bike, or sometimes you can't avoid using different parts from different manufacturers to achieve what you want to achieve. Take the drag bike for example. It had a Yamaha R1 engine, a bespoke made frame, a Ducati front end, and a race car rear wheel. All those parts were ideal for the job, and they did exactly what we needed them to do. So we were forced into using different manufacturers to achieve what we wanted to achieve.
Wow, what a time set by the Mint Boys.
With this Project 2-Stroke, I wanted to lay down some ground rules. And the first rule being, I want to try and use as many parts from one manufacturer as possible. But what manufacturers make steel trellis frames and two-stroke engines? This was my first challenge.
I don't sleep much these days, so it didn't take long for me to figure out what to do, and I started ordering some parts.
My very first memories of steel trellis frames was when I was around 6 or 7 years old. I used to sit and watch the World Superbikes with my dad, with Cole Fogarty, Aaron Slight, Colin Edwards, Ruben Zaus. We'd all battle it out. We had the factory Hondas and obviously the factory Ducatis. I asked my dad why Ducatis were so good in the World Championship. And he said they're the best bikes on the planet for a number of reasons. V-twin engines are super fast. They've got Olin suspension, so they handle really well. And they're on steel trellis frames, which means they're on rails. And of course the only thing I could relate to at that age was Thomas the Tank Engine, and that was also on rails. And I liked Thomas the Tank Engine, so I also liked Ducatis. It was looking like KTM was going to be the manufacturer of choice. They had a large, very reliable two-stroke engine straight out of KTM EXC bike. It's 300cc, two-stroke, had everything I needed on it. Electric start, it was modern, you could buy parts, they were available. They do a range of smaller bikes, like 125s and 390 Dukes, and they all come with steel trellis frames. So that was my combination. Find a KTM 390 steel trellis frame, find a KTM 300 EXC engine, and combine the two. Of course, as you may already know, I work for Öhlins, so I spend a lot of time going away racing with Öhlins. I've been an Öhlins technician for the last 8 years. So this bike obviously has to be dripping in Öhlins. Öhlins forks, Öhlins steering damper, and Öhlins shock. That goes without saying. The wheels. The obvious choice for performance is to go with a racing wheel, like an aluminium racing wheel. But they're not my favourite wheels. And I'm already going for my favourite frame and my favourite engine. So I have to pick my favourite wheels. And my favourite wheels of all time are spoked Supermoto wheels. I just think they look beautiful. I love it when they come with black rims with a coloured hub. Obviously in this case we're going to go with the orangey gold KTM hubs and a sprocket to match. Wavy performance discs, and of course it goes without saying we're going to run Brembo brakes. As far as the bodywork's concerned, the seat unit was an obvious choice. I love the shape of the KTM Moto 3 seat units they run in the World Championships. So I went on a mission to see if I could find one of those seats, which I did, which is a bonus. And it's fully supporting Kevlar MotoGP racing seat.
Ooh, it's blue. I'm gonna be sick.
The tank. Oh my god. I've had a lot of hassle with the tank. Originally I wanted to use, obviously keep it all KTM.
Back to the drawing board.
But there isn't a tank that was gonna work with this seat unit and frame combination. There's a couple of options that probably would have worked.
This will work. Hang on, that's mine.
Yeah.
No.
But it wouldn't have looked very good. So I was forced to go out and pick a different tank from a different manufacturer. I came across the CBR 125 tank, which was the right width. It was nice and narrow, which would fit nicely into the seat unit. And it was small, it had a nice shape to it. Also leaving enough room up the front so I can make a battery box and keep a small battery in there to run the starter motor and lighting system. So this tank, although it needs a lot of work and a lot of man hours of welding and fabricating, it ticked all the boxes. So it had to be Honda CBR 125 tank. Strange choice, I know, but it's gonna do the job. So as I was designing this whole bike, all these different parts were coming together nicely, and I put a render together so I could show the rest of the lads at Mint Customs my idea and what I wanted to do. So I'd done this render, had some posters made of it. This is the Moto 3 seat, a tank that was never going to work, and the engine setup. I'm going to frame it and put it up in the workshop and use it as a reference. There's already a few things that have changed on the bike, but it's good for everyone to see what we're going for and what the goals are.
So I guess now it's all on paper and the parts are starting to arrive. We better get our butts in the workshop and start building this thing. We will see you in the next episode. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.